RCFE feels like alphabet soup, but what it really stands for is Residential Care Facility for the Elderly in the state of California. Want to learn how to open one? Well, here's how to turn those letters into a license. To operate an RCFE in California, you have to obtain a license from the California Department of Social Services, CDSS, specifically from the Community Care Licensing Division, the CCL. The process, it's going to involve several steps to ensure that the facility meets all of the requirements for health, safety, and care standards, of course. So get a pen and paper and follow along with me because there's a lot to cover here. Before applying for a license, it's essential to understand the requirements and regulations governing RCFEs. These requirements are set forth by the California Health and Safety Code, also the California Code of Regulations, and the CDSS regulations for community care. There's a lot of things going on here and a lot of people who are in charge of RCFEs. So you need to determine what facility type you're looking to open. An RCFE provides non-medical residential care, supervision, and assistance with activities of daily living, or ADLs, that's what we call it in the industry, to individuals who are 60 and older. California RCFEs can care for up to 6 residents depending on the facility size and design. Square footage is going to play a big role in this. But if you add fire suppression, aka sprinklers, and have square footage, and you apply for a variance, you can have more than 6 residents, which adds to your bottom line. But larger facilities, they do need additional approvals and they may have more stringent requirements. If you want to add to your bottom line without having to add for more residents, keep in mind that RCFEs can specialize in dementia or memory care, but there are additional regulations for those types of care as well. So pretty much anything you're looking to do more, you're going to need more. Before you apply for a license, you need to complete certain pre-license steps. You have to submit a facility plan of operation to the CDSS, which is going to include a detailed description of the facility's operation, including, what services you plan to offer. They also want to know how care is going to be provided. Is it going to be supervised? Is there going to be medication management? Are you having food service? What are your emergency plans? What are you going to do in an evacuation or in a disaster? And then staff, they want to know how you are going to train them in the home above and beyond what they've already received from their state licensing. If you're hoping to not create these yourself, we offer documents just like this for our Platinum Inner Circle members at the Residential Assisted Living Academy. So make sure you get a ticket to our next event. Oh, and once this video is done, check out this other video right here where I share the 3 smartest options for you to participate in RAL, because I'm sure you want to get started sooner than later. So check this out next. You need to renovate the home to make it senior safe. That's going to be your next step. To ensure that the facility meets the physical and safety standards that are required by the CDSS, you have to comply with local building codes like fire safety, accessibility, and the individuals with disabilities, and of course, proper exits and emergency plans. Your facility has to meet sanitation, food safety, and general health standards as well. Like you need safe drinking water and you need pest control and all these different things. The facility also must pass the fire safety inspections, which include having smoke detectors. You probably are going to need fire extinguishers as well. And of course, clearly marked exits. Almost all care homes in the entire United States require that as well. The facility must meet accessibility standards for elderly individuals, especially those with mobility impairments. It doesn't need to be ADA compliant, but you want it as close to that as possible. So you want ramps, you want wide doorways, wide hallways, and accessible bathrooms. This is really going to help your seniors move and groove, the most comfortably within your home, and you'll have the least accidents, and it will help your staff as well. Next, you need to start hiring your staff. You see, there are multiple licenses involved. One is for the home, but the other 2 are for the staff, for your licensed administrator. And who you're going to hire, they've got to be qualified and they need to have completed specific training or have work experience in the elder care field. Now, the administrator, they have to have taken this approved administrator certification program through the state. And it covers topics like care standards, regulations, and facility operations. Now, this is great for them to know, but you still want to make sure you're training them within your home, and you're also going to want them to undergo a criminal background check, including fingerprinting. This is to ensure that, of course, no criminal offenses, have happened that would prevent someone from working in a care home, of course. And you are also going to want to train them for how you want them to run your RCFE as well, because the administrator license is great, but it is about care for the seniors, not necessarily how to run the business. And if you are planning on being more hands off, more of that passive owner operator, then that is a totally separate portion of the training. So you're going to need to do that as well. Once your facility meets all the necessary requirements, you can really begin the process of applying for the RCFE license. This is going to involve submitting an application to the state, and the specific department is the CCL, the Community Care Licensing Division we talked about earlier. You can find the RCFE application on the CDSS website, and they're going to ask questions about the facility, the service offered, the proof of compliance, the background check clearance form, all those things that we just mentioned. So you've got your long list, start working on it, and then you apply. And along with your application, you're going to need to pay the fee required. And the fee for the initial application is going to vary based on the capacity of the facility, meaning how many residents you have. Also, it's going to vary if it's a new facility or an existing one that's just applying for a change in ownership, because you might be buying someone else's facility. Don't forget, you also have to submit a health and safety plan, which includes that specific procedure for providing care, emergency protocols, and disaster plans. It is California, after all. You never know. There might be a little earthquake. Once they have your application, they're going to come for a site inspection. They're physically going to come to your house and make sure it complies with everything that we've discussed and everything you've now submitted to the state. They're going to address any deficiencies or things that are not up to the standard, not up to the code. And then if everything's good, you're going to get your license and woohoo, you're in business, baby. Getting an RCFE license in California requires meeting those specific facility staffing, safety, and operational requirements. And then it's followed by that application and inspection process. And that can take up to 6 months. So there's a lot kind of going on at once. Now, make sure that as you're starting in this industry, that you are thoroughly researching the regulations and that you're preparing your facility and your staff to meet all of those licensing requirements, because you want to make sure that you're operating legally and safely. If you need assistance, consider consulting with a licensing expert or attorney who specializes in California long-term care regulations. Residential Assisted Living Academy has been helping people for the last 10 years start in this business. I have my care homes here in Arizona and I teach most of our trainings, but tons of our students are out in California and we've helped them jump through those hoops and make it happen. So if you're interested, check out this next video and I hope to see you in class one day.